Hi, my name is Nicole Bellato, and my advocacy plan is on music teacher recruitment and retention. Across the country, schools have been experiencing shortages of qualified music educators, leading to lower quality or reduced access to music education for students. This issue is affected by teacher preparation programs being limited and at a high cost, budget constraints with music usually first on the chopping block, the perception of music education being lesser than other careers or school subjects, and lack of professional development opportunities, leaving potential teachers feeling like they don't have enough training or resources to do the job long term and successfully. By addressing these concerns, policymakers can work towards reversing the decline in music teacher recruitment and retention and ensure schools have better access to qualified and passionate music teachers, providing students with a higher quality music education. Our overarching goal is to promote policies and initiatives supporting recruitment and retention of music teachers, and this can be further broken down into four sub-goals. The first is to increase funding for music education at primarily the local and state levels, eventually progressing to federal levels. Supporting music programs in schools through funding is essential for improving working conditions and providing necessary resources for effective music instruction. The second is to enhance music teacher preparation programs. Developing strong relationships with local university music ed programs provides comprehensive training that equips future teachers with the skills and knowledge necessary to succeed as a music teacher. By informing students of music teacher career paths and providing opportunities that familiarize students with these college programs, these collaborations help strengthen teacher preparation programs. The third is to expand professional development opportunities. Ensuring music teachers have access and funding for music-specific PD enhances teaching practices, boosts teacher morale, and promotes retention within the field. And lastly, we want to increase recognition and support for music educators. Promoting the importance of music ed within schools and the broader communities increases the recognition, respect, and support for the field. This makes teachers feel more valued and therefore interested in staying in the profession long term. If staff, parents, and the community value and support music, the music educators will be able to run a more successful program and create a more positive music culture within schools and the town. Targeting important stakeholders is necessary for effective advocacy campaign. The first audience is legislators and policymakers. They play a crucial role in shaping education policy and allocating resources. Advocacy efforts will be focused on persuading legislators to support policies that improve teacher recruitment and retention, such as funding for competitive salaries, loan forgiveness, and education scholarships. We will also look for support from school administrators. Principals, superintendents, music coordinators, and other school admin are responsible for implementing policies within schools. They have the authority to create supportive environments for teachers and influence hiring and retention practices. Local community leaders and organizations from performing arts and music advocacy groups will encourage community support, raise awareness about the importance of this issue, and pressure policymakers to prioritize funding and changes that benefit music teachers. Parents and families are one of the most important audiences in education advocacy as they are directly impacted by the quality of teachers in schools. This plan will communicate the importance of teacher recruitment and retention to student success, gain their support for policy changes, and encourage their involvement in advocacy efforts. Teacher unions and professional associations represent the interests of teachers and educators, so collaborating with these organizations can significantly influence policies that impact working conditions, salaries, benefits, and professional development opportunities. Lastly, establishing a strong partnership with local college music programs will provide quality music collaboration experiences to high schoolers. Building these relationships may be done through recommending students attend local college music camps, connecting high school students to local music professors for private instrument lessons, attending clinics, masterclasses, or adjudication festivals at a local college, or co-hosting an information session on pursuing music education. The hope is by strengthening these relationships, high school students will be more informed about pursuing a music ed degree, and these high schools will become a primary feeder for those college music programs. Overall, targeting these key audiences is essential for building support and creating meaningful change regarding music teacher recruitment and retention. Have you ever played a musical instrument before? If so, have you ever regretted giving up playing a musical instrument? If you answered yes to the first question, you likely answered yes to the following one as well. I have never met an individual who said they were glad they quit music when they did. Most people appreciated their school music program, experienced a connection to the community of musicians, felt a sense of accomplishment from their progress on the instrument, and found the activity to be stress relieving, enjoyable, and fun. Now, imagine children not having the opportunity to learn an instrument or experience the magic of playing together due to a lack of music educators in quality and quantity serving our school systems. Music education is a cornerstone of a well-rounded academic experience, allowing students to foster creativity, discipline, and emotional intelligence. Playing an instrument specifically increases the brain's neuroplasticity, reduces stress, and improves memory and coordination, as well as improves listening and reading skills. Yet, despite its profound impact, the field of music education faces a significant crisis, a growing shortage of qualified music teachers. According to an article, shockingly, up to 50% of music teachers leave the profession within their first 3 years. This shortage, with teachers leaving the field and fewer teachers entering, threatens the quality and accessibility of music programs nationwide and reveals the urgent need for strategic action to retain and recruit music educators. The future of music education depends on our collective action to address the challenges of teacher retention and recruitment. By investing in music educators and music program funding, enhancing their professional experiences, and advocating for the value of music in schools, we help our students continue to benefit from the rich, transformative experiences music education offers. It is our responsibility to support these dedicated professionals and ensure the future of music education for years to come. Will you help us make a difference by creating a stronger music culture in our schools and communities to stop the decline of music educators? To effectively address these issues, it's important to select effective delivery methods that resonate with the target audience. The first is social media campaigns. Using platforms such as X, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok to share the challenges of music teacher recruitment and retention will allow for broad and rapid dissemination of information. Using interactive elements like polls, commenting, and stories, as well as sharing infographics, videos, and personal testimonies, can further engage the audience and stimulate discussion around the issue. We will also petition through websites such as change.org, the Connecticut Department of Labor page, or the U.S. Department of Labor petition filing site, as these provide accessible ways for the public to show their support and demand for change. Petitions will outline specific requests for policy changes or improvements, such as raising minimum teacher salary pay, improving loan forgiveness plans, and increasing funding for school programs. Presentations at meetings will offer a more direct platform to highlight the issue with detailed explanations. These will allow for us to engage in meaningful discussion and receive immediate feedback. These meetings may be held with school board members like administrators, superintendents, or staff, as well as local government officials or at educational conferences. Letters to the editor will be written to local and national newspapers, including the Connecticut Post, New York Times, and online news outlets. These can help influence public opinion, policy priorities, and stimulate public discourse. In-person meetings held with key stakeholders will highlight relevant data, reports, personal stories, and proposed solutions. And lastly, holding informances or performances for parents, admin, and policymakers will bring attention to the issue while also showcasing firsthand the accomplishments of a quality school music program. Holding a concert where music educators not only speak to the importance of music education, but show them the power of music through the ensemble's level of musicianship could be a very effective way to entice audience members and motivate them to be part of the change. Overall, these 6 message delivery tactics will help advocate for this issue on local and broad levels, leverage public support and awareness, facilitate discussions with key stakeholders, and achieve greater visibility to drive impactful change. Regarding resources needed to successfully execute this advocacy plan, there are 3 main categories these resources fall under: financial, personnel, and expertise. In terms of financial resources, we need a budget for social media advertising, especially if we want to have targeted ads to increase our campaign reach. We also need funding for all event costs for organizing rallies or public events. This includes money for permits, venues, rental equipment like mics, stages, or banners, and buses for transportation to and from the event if necessary. Lastly, we need funding for any printed advertising materials such as flyers, signs, info brochures, and more. Regarding personnel, we need an advocacy team of volunteers or staff to handle campaign management, event coordination, and outreach. Ideally, we would also hire a graphic designer or marketer to create visually appealing advertising content, and a PR expert to help draft press releases and manage media relations. Lastly, for expertise, we need education experts to provide data and research on the benefits of music education and impact of teacher shortages, legal advisors to ensure compliance with regulations for petitions and public demonstrations, and ideally policy advisors to assist with strategizing for policymaker meetings and drafting persuasive communication. Having access to all these resources will allow us to effectively and efficiently execute the advocacy plan and reach as many people as possible. We will measure our success in a multitude of ways that may be short-term or long-term depending on the effectiveness of the advocacy campaign and how quickly the issue ignites change within the community. One way we will assess our success is through public or formal statements from school boards or government officials. These statements from important leaders in education will demonstrate their support for our cause and hopefully lead to tangible results. The formation of music education committees created to further study and address music education issues will demonstrate the community's ongoing commitment to improving the quality of school music programs. A greater understanding and recognition of music education issues among the public and stakeholders, evidenced by media coverage and increased funding, will again show people's commitment to this issue. One of the more tangible, effective measures of success we hope to see, but may take more time, is the integration of recommended recruitment and retention strategies. This may look like an expanded music department, larger budget, better classroom resources, more fair compensation, etc. Adopting these recommendations into school policies and practices is the ultimate goal, as this demonstrates real change that will directly affect the quality of these music programs. Lastly, statistics on the college music student enrollment and number of teachers in the field will be the ultimate and most objective indication that these efforts have been successful and made positive change. As far as the timeline of this plan goes, this plan will primarily take place over 6 months. For the first month, we would assemble an advocacy team of music teachers, local organization leaders such as a CMEA president, parents, students, and community members, perhaps from community bands, university music programs, and music businesses in the area. Research would also be conducted to gather data on current recruitment and retention issues so that we could develop a clear, concise goal or objective and then start drafting our initial message for the action plan. For months 2 and 3, we would launch our social media campaign and organize public rallies or community events to raise awareness about the issue. We would begin gathering signatures for petitions to improve funding for public school music educators in the area. And the rallies and community events would engage stakeholders and the media. For months 4 and 5, meetings with school board members, local government officials, and education leaders would be held to present data and advocate for change. We would also submit letters to newspaper editors and op-eds to generate public discussion and pressure policymakers. Lastly, in month 6, we would evaluate the effectiveness of the plan by reviewing our progress, gathering feedback, and then adjusting strategies to employ moving forward. The effectiveness of our advocacy efforts will be based on outcomes and stakeholder responses. Then we will prepare a final report detailing achievements and areas for improvement to communicate to stakeholders. We would continue to raise funding each year and alter tactics to reach a larger audience. This might look like expanding past the local community into neighboring school districts, other parts of the state, and eventually nationally. While change is an ongoing effort, hopefully this plan is the stepping stone to achieving meaningful progress and fostering long-term improvements in music education.